Hi, everyone enrolled in GD2 History of Graphic Design. My name is Steve Gonzowski. I will be your instructor for this accelerated summer class. Sometimes taking an online class can feel a little bit impersonal, so I just wanted to give you a voice to go along with the name and show you some of the basic stuff to get you started in this course. So if you've never taken an online class before, just know that discipline is required. Under normal circumstances, not only do you have to make up for, the approximately 3 hours of class time that you would miss each week, but then you also have to put aside the time to do the homework. Now, you are taking a summer class as well, so not only is it online, but instead of being 16 weeks long, we have the same amount of material crammed into 8 weeks, so that would be normally 6 hours of class time, and then the old college adage is for each unit hour, expect 3 hours of homework, so 3 times 16 is 18 hours of homework. Now, whether it will actually take you personally that long to do it or not, that's just what the numbers are based on for a college to award you 3 credit hours for taking and completing the class. But the bottom line that I'm trying to get across to you is if you don't start planning right now, you're pretty much doomed to fail. And I hate to be really blunt like that, but it really, really comes down to that. If you're not setting aside chunks of time in your schedule to read, then do the quizzes, do all the other assignments, there's just no way that you will get through it. So hopefully you've got that taken care of. You already have the book, which I'll mention a little bit more about in a second here. Um, always like to get across, even in my classes that meet in person, just a couple things that I consider like basic common sense items, things that I just want to emphasize with you. One is this is a college course and it involves critical thinking. All college classes should involve critical thinking. Um, and what that really means is your ability to absorb information, make it your own, and then talk about it as an intelligent, educated person. And this class will require you to do so. You will be writing responses to questions that I give you and then reviewing each other's work. So those responses are meant to sound like they come from a college level person, a person who's getting ready to enter the workforce, who's answering these questions in a professional manner, not like, hey dudes, yeah, what you said sounded cool. Uh, Definitely not that. So you gotta, suck in what is the question being presented to you, take in all the information of what you read, let it roll around in your head, and then come out and be totally you, totally professional, and that we can say, wow, that person obviously read the material, they get it, and now I'm going to respond to what they said. And both your classmates and myself will be responding to your answers, and you'll see how all that goes in just a bit. Okay, and another one of my common sense items that I like to get out right away is life is not fair. I think you've all believe you know that or have heard that before, but a lot of people I hear still saying it a lot, not even realizing what they're saying, but they'll say like, oh, so and so can read the whole chapter in like 10 minutes and understand it and be able to answer questions on it. That's not fair. It takes me an hour, 2 hours to do the same thing. And that is true. It really is just that simple. Now, just because somebody can do that, does that mean they're going to be more successful in you than life? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, right? Life is not fair. There are people that have it all. I think like Ryan Reynolds is a good example. The guy can act, he's funny, good looking. It just, our parents like to tell us things like, well, you might not be good looking, but you're funny. Some people have it all. So what, right? If you really want to do this, and by this I mean a college education, and you're committed to it, then you might have to spend a little bit more time than the other person. Also, things come up, especially at the college age, right? I mean, that's when we're breaking up with boyfriends, girlfriends. I mean, a death in the family could pop up. I don't know what it could be for you. Hopefully nothing, but you just have to, then if something does come up, that can't become your excuse for expecting special treatment in the class. If you can't make it through the class, then you're going to have to drop it. And especially on an 8-week accelerated class, there's really not time to have a week of mourning because your girlfriend broke up with you and then you're going to get back on track. Just not going to happen on a summer class where we hit the ground running. I've taken them myself, so I know what you're up against. The other common sense item here is, do you want a good grade in the class? You just have to do, right? You gotta start right away this first week. Get the book, read, do the questions. You can't procrastinate. Anytime procrastination works against you, but especially on an online class, and especially on an online summer class. And I'll give you a preview here in just a second of all the assignments so you can see what you're up against, what the point value of everything is, and you know that you got to hit the ground running and just get on with it. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into navigating the class and make sure that I answer any questions that are probably popping up in your head right now. So we use Canvas. The way to get to Canvas is just to go to the college's website. So here we are on saddleback.edu. Click on Canvas, sign into Canvas, and if you're having trouble signing in, take care of that right away. Contact IT, tell them you can't sign in, but typically if you signed in to the college's website to take the class in the first place, you just use those same credentials. Probably you wouldn't be watching this video even if you're not logged in. Some of what you see in my preview here is going to be different because I'm an instructor, you're a student, so your views will be a little bit different, but not drastically different. The whole idea is you get into Canvas and then you click on the class that you are taking, and then you'll see the bigger picture here. So up on this home is an introduction to the class. And you can see there's some basic information in here already. By the time I'm finished with this video, I will actually have the syllabus linked to this page. Little bit of an explanation similar to what I'm giving you right now, but the big thing for this online class is the modules. And the modules will be located on the left here. You'll click on them and you basically just start. In fact, you can keep going back to this main menu, but you can really just click like this, read, and as soon as you get to the bottom, you just click on next, and it's going to take you progressively through the overview of the chapter, what you need to do, and through all the assignments. And I'd like to take you through just real quickly here and show you like the first question that you'll come up against, so you know what I was talking about earlier when I said I'm looking for professional responses. So I'm just kind of going quickly through here so you get an idea of what you're going to see each and every week for each of the modules. So if, for example, this first week there's 3 chapters that have to be read. Now again, remember, wow, 3 chapters, that sounds a lot, but yes, it's it's that 2-time pace for the summer class. Then there's additional resources that were put in here, suggestions for field trips, things like that, that are just, voluntary stuff if you want to do. The very first thing we're going to do is this get acquainted assignment, which is extremely important that you do that right away, because I don't have a way to take roll in a summer class, so that is our way to take roll. If you do not do this by the census date, or just consider it by the due date of this, you could be dropped instantly from the class, because it's just like you never showed up for the class. That's a legal requirement. We, because we get state funding, we have to account for who's attending the class. And if people aren't attending the class, the state doesn't want to pay us money, and we have to drop that person so we don't get the money from the state. Okay, so here's the first question, discussion question. And if you want to read that, you can just pause real quick and read it. You'll see it shortly anyhow once you start the class. The expectation here is that you answer the question based on the reading. As you probably already saw in my email and on the syllabus, you cannot fake this class and do stuff just based on Wikipedia or any online research. It becomes blatantly obvious to me, and you will get incredibly low points for the assignments, or no points at all until you do stuff correctly, which, like I said, there's no time to procrastinate. Once you respond to the question, then you're going to respond to 2 of your classmates. So both your answer to the question and your responses, that's what I was talking about, where I'm going to be looking for critical thinking, professionalism, just basically showing me that you read the information, let it sink into your head, and now you're an intelligent college person and you are now giving that back to me. Typically, each week starts on a Monday. Some of the stuff will be due on the Friday, like answering the question and then doing the peer reviews by Sunday. Then another week starts, and there we go. The cycle continues. And there is a quiz every week. So the two things that you can count on there being every week is the discussion question and the peer reviews and the quiz. And then at the end of the class, there will be a writing assignment. Now, you may not have access to this assignment section. Again, you'll get to everything, 1 week at a time. I usually post stuff a couple days early. So if you're the kind of person who wants to get started a couple days early, you can. But my purpose right now is to show you what all you will do. So this first week, in addition to the weekly review, quiz, and discussion assignment, you'll also have the get acquainted. But you can see every week, then you'll have a review, quiz, discussion, question. Again, week 4, same thing, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, and then you have a term paper that you have to write. And although you really don't have to start thinking about this term paper now, I know some people like to start planting the seeds in their brain of what they're going to do, what their topic is going to be. So it's not crazy difficult, but it's something that's kind of fun that shows that you've engaged in the course throughout the previous weeks. And you're really just going to compare the work of two designers from two different movements. You'll learn about what the different design movements are throughout the course. And of course, you're looking for designers. This is not a fine art class. It's about graphic design. And you're going to choose these designers whose work you've gravitated to throughout the semester with a similar look, style, purpose, concept, etc. But yet they're from two totally different movements. So you can pause and look at this in a little more detail if you'd like, but within a couple weeks I'll have this posted for you to look at as well. And the total points for the class comes out to 351. So here's the grade breakdown to get those points. That's located in the syllabus. And in addition to modules, the other important thing that we will use in here will be announcements. And check that at the beginning of every week. I'll point out things, like if everyone's making a common theme error and maybe the way they're answering the questions, or a lot of you are, we'll talk about things like that. Yeah, so check announcements, and then the other thing will be grades. Now, you cannot see each other's grades, only your own, and this is a great way to know exactly how you're doing in the class. You just get all the way over here to the total, and if it says that your grade right now in the class is a 67%, that's the grade that you would get today if I had to give you a grade. It's not an inaccurate grade, meaning that it's waiting for other things to be added to it. Like, for example, you can't say, oh, my grade's only in the 60s right now, but I haven't done the term paper yet. That's why it's so low. No, that's not why it's so low. That means that right now, based on everything that you've done, that's what your grade is. And then if you ended up getting the same grade on the term paper, that would be your final grade. So very easy way to know exactly what you're doing is check your grades often. If there is any kind of error with the grades, let me know right away. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Now, I found the easiest way to get a hold of me, especially because I have a long last name, is just go in here, and yours probably going to look similar to this. There's this weird icon here. It looks more like a printer to me, but it says inbox. And when you click on that, you can go in and you can make an email. And what you do is you just select the name of the course, and then once it asks you who you want to email in the course, you would just select teachers. And I'm the only teacher. So if you put all teachers, doesn't matter. Easy way to get me. Otherwise, you can go the long way, what's on the syllabus. So anyway, hope that gives you a good introduction to what to expect from the class, and I look forward to reading your responses. Hope it didn't scare you away, but just want to let you know that you've got a little bit of work ahead of you.